This is Tanny Crawford. I wanted to use this platform to highlight local businesses and give a little insight into how they operate and their mission. I've enjoyed these conversations and I think you will too. If you like it, leave a comment below and maybe somebody else I could highlight. Here we go. Good afternoon. I've got Reynold Yordy on today. Reynold is co-founder of a software company called OCHI. Reynold is from Illinois originally, but been in the Middle Tennessee area for about 21 years now. Reynold, good to have you today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. So, Reynold, I wanted to just kind of get on here and spread the word about your business and give people kind of an idea of what the business is, and then a little bit of an inside peek of kind of who Reynold is and what makes you tick, and maybe some daily disciplines and things you have. So we are all kind of entrepreneurs. But tell me your journey. Kind of why'd you decide to get into the tech world, the tech business?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I actually started out my career working at Eli Lilly. And honestly, I just hated the drudgery of analyzing data day after day after day and having no variables. And this was basically the mid 90s. And this whole thing called the internet was starting to take off. And so I decided I wanted to learn a bit more about programming, especially as it related to that. And I think I made the right guess that it was actually going to take off and maybe become something.
Nice. So, I've got a funny story. I probably may have told you before, but it was 95 or 96. I probably shouldn't tell this, but I was in second year of college going to medical school, right? I thought I was headed to medical school. I want to be a doctor and kind of run my life that way. And I was in a computer science class because it was required. In 95, we were still floppy disks and C prompts and all that. And this guy was beside me. He goes, "Hey, what are you studying?" I said, "I'm going to medicine. I'm going to make some money." And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm going to study computers." I said, "Oh, you need to pick another route, man.
Career.
Go anywhere. Computers aren't going out." That was my first take on it. But well, tell us a little bit about OCHI, kind of how long it's been around and what you guys are doing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So OCHI, I guess, has been about 2 years now. We formed it out of a little incubator that we run that basically creates healthcare technology companies. And actually, the North Carolina Medical Society came to us and said, "Hey, we've got a need for some software," that basically what they really wanted was, they called it an EMR for YMCAs. And we said, well, doctors don't like EMRs, so how are you going to get a YMCA to use one? And so we really went down kind of the approach we normally do of understanding the business case. And what they really wanted was for YMCAs to be able to actually interact with health systems. So to receive referrals, provide evidence-based health solutions like diabetes prevention, weight loss, blood pressure management, and then send the data back to the physicians. So our goal was to take our certified electronic health record, still do both of those things on the front end and back end, but actually make it user-friendly for the Ys. So, just a general fitness coach still knew how to use the software and didn't have to deal with the complexities of an EHR.
I got you. So what's the ideal client look like?
Yeah. So what's interesting is it really comes from two sides. It comes both from the healthcare system side. So interacting with some ACOs and everything. But then honestly, the kind of end user becomes any fitness organization. So really what we're trying to do is, the reality of healthcare and where we spend our dollars is we don't actually spend them on what makes people healthier. And the reality is that fitness, wellness programs, things like that do. And so our goal was to build a software platform for anybody that's providing those services to be able to turn around and then interact with the healthcare community.
Okay. All right. I got you. So it does make it super easy. You don't have to have tons of training. to run the software, similar like an EMR in a hospital or physical therapy or something. There's usually a lot of training, a lot of upfront costs with that. So you guys don't require a whole lot of training. It's pretty user friendly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So you were part of this interview is to give people a little bit of insight to the business, but also to the business owners, and so into rental and how do you take. But the world seems to have its own definition of success. How would you define success?
So the first thing I'd probably say is not the way the world normally does.
True.
I mean, honestly, when I look at it from a business perspective, it's, did we add value to the lives of the people that, end up utilizing our product? And honestly, typically not even the person that uses our product, but one step beyond that, right? So like in this case, it's the person that maybe has, pre-diabetes and they need help with it, right? So, we're definitely not a direct to consumer type of a company, but we try to figure out how we can help those people trying to help the consumers. But I would say for me, success is really more of, am I doing everything I can to honestly help others, whether it's my family, my church, my kids, because at the end of the day, very few people are going to probably remember what I did at a business level. But if I can make that personal impact on people's lives, that's honestly what's more important.
Oh yeah, and you guys would be impacting and preventing tons of diabetes and chronic pain and arthritis and obesity and all of that. It's one thing to cure a disease, but it's another one to prevent it and to track all of that. So that's outstanding. Beautiful there. So, and Jim Rohn, he's got a quote that says, "The formula for success is small, simple disciplines practiced every day." Are there any small little disciplines that you have that you're pretty good at maintaining?
So honestly, tying the word discipline within a sentence that's associated with me that doesn't have like a negative component to it is probably a stretch. But if I were to take one, honestly, I typically take the first half hour of my day, just spending time reading my Bible, spending time with the Lord, and just, making sure that as I do go into my day, that it's not about me.
Okay. Are you a big planner? You like to write stuff down or?
Yeah, unfortunately I'm not, which
Okay.
can be a challenge.
It's just kind of fly by the seat of your pants when it's time to put out fires then, huh? Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, hey, that's part of a lot of the entrepreneurial spirit. And so speaking of that, if somebody's just starting out, this, you said OCHI is about 2 years old. So if somebody's just now starting out and they've got a desire to do more and build a software company or a business, is there a good place that you would tell them to start? Where do you start?
I honestly would tell them to start by making sure that they're ready for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. It's easy to think, hey, I've got a great idea, but to make it a reality, I can't even tell you how many businesses I've attempted over my last 30-something years that haven't been successful. And so it's really being willing to get back up, dust yourself off, and keep trying. And I think as long as at the end of the day, you are keeping in focus the end and what success truly ends up meaning to you, that's what'll drive it and everything.
Yeah. So you've got, and this may be a good question for other people listening here too. So you got two choices. You can work for someone else, which has a lot of steady, maybe a steady income. And then when you branch into entrepreneurship and you start businesses and they fail, you may have spent 3 or 4 months, 5 months, 6 months trying to get something off the ground and it never goes. How do you bridge that gap? I don't have an answer to it either, but how do you bridge that gap in the months that you're trying to build a business when you don't have that income coming in?
Yeah. So honestly, I think it's what keeps most people from doing it, right? you've got to be willing to take some risk to be an entrepreneur, typically. I mean, every once in a while you might get lucky and not need to, but at some point, you just got to go, I'm rolling the dice and, I'm all in. Honestly, I was blessed when I decided that I was going to kind of step out from the corporate world and go in for myself, that although I was working at a Fortune 500 company, I told my boss what I was going to do. And he said, I'll let you work part-time so that you can start out your business.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a good handful of friends who have left that Fortune 500 world, left the six-figure incomes to buy a landscaping business or buy a nursery or start a leadership coaching business or start a software company like you guys have. And it's, everyone that I'm thinking of, it's worked out. It's always worked out for them. Well, good deal, Reynold. Good deal. Well, look, I've got, let's kind of wrap up here. I've got a couple off the cuff, rapid fire questions, kind of random, some of them, but tell me.
As long as they're not hard.
What's your best piece of advice you can think of that you've ever been given?
That I've ever been given. Honestly, is if you believe in it, just keep doing it.
That's good right there. I like that. Oh yeah. What about what skill or talent do you wish you had that you don't have, or that you wish you could develop more?
Discipline.
Man, oh man, that's probably a lot of us. I've got, my wife and I were chatting earlier today that she's kind of got this self-drive, man, this self-discipline that's amazing. And I'm just like, well, we'll catch that one tomorrow, or that's just kind of the way it works. Yeah. All right, what about this? Favorite vacation you've ever been to?
Oh goodness, I've had the chance to do a lot of international travel.
Yeah.
So loved Cambodia. My parents were missionaries there for a while. Got to go there a couple times. In the U.S., honestly, I'd probably say Alaska. It's just amazing, beautiful country. Really?
Okay. Cambodia, that's just a little bit north of Atlanta, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Well, my wife actually says that those are the vacations that she enjoys the most because I can't work. Because typically there's not enough connectivity.
That's true. That's true. Well, man, thank you for your time today. How can website, Facebook page, how can people find out about you?
Yeah, absolutely. So for OCHI, it's actually OCHI.app. So OCHI.app.
Okay.
And then our holding company is actually greenlightventures.biz.
All right. Hey, what does OCHI stand for, by the way?
It stands for Our Community Health Initiative.
Nice.
We thought that was quite the mouthful. So we just went and shoved it all together and said, all right, it's OCHI.
Well, that's perfect. It's a catchy name. And I think people will be amazed when they get to check it out. So Reynold, thank you. Have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. You too. Thanks.